This week, Associated Press decided it will no longer use the term illegal immigrants in news stories. It is a part of the continuing divisive debate over America's immigration policy. Joining me now is Update News reporter Kate Loewen for a special report on this issue.
Thanks, Pedro. Whatever immigration policy is eventually adopted, it will definitely affect college students. In this special report, we will profile the lives of unauthorized immigrant students who are in the California college system because of the provisions of Assembly Bill 540 and the California DREAM Act.
The individuals we spoke to were candid and without fear in opening up about their daily challenges that they face due to their immigration statuses. Here are their stories. Among the thousands of college students across the campuses in California, there is a small group of students carrying a unique load.
I feel exactly the way they do, except they were born here and I wasn't. So.
Jaime Porras says he was brought to the United States as an infant by his parents.
I guess back in the 90s, when for babies, the passports, they didn't require pictures, so they just handed me to some random, I guess, coyote, and they got me into the country while my parents did it the old-fashioned way.
According to the 2010 U.S. Census, between 1990 and 2000, about 1.3 million children with immigrant parents moved to California. Today, the Department of Homeland Security's Office of Immigration Statistics say an estimated 11.5 million unauthorized immigrants reside in the U.S. In 2001, the Development, Relief, and Education for Alien Minors Act, commonly referred to as the DREAM Act, was introduced in the United States Senate. California introduced its own version in 2011.
When I heard of the opportunity, like, people were saying, oh, the DREAM Act passed, but then I put more research into it and it wasn't the DREAM Act, it's the Deferred Action, and that's separate from the DREAM Act. This is more as a short-term sort of thing, but it looks like it's going to help a lot.
On June 15th, 2012, President Obama announced his administration would stop deporting young undocumented immigrants who matched the criteria qualified for deferred action.
And had a clean background, so it was really easy for me.
This enables him to receive a social security number and apply for a work permit or a driver's license and get a job. That criteria includes being of good moral character, enrollment in a secondary or post-secondary education program, or current application to a college or junior college. Entered the United States by age 16 and were no older than 25, resided continuously in the United States for a minimum of 5 years. Porras is one of thousands of students taking advantage of deferred action. Roberto Rayon feels he has not been as fortunate.
Yeah, I do have that feeling that it's unfair, because I guess I didn't ask for it. I was just brought here by my parents. Had no idea of, I guess, the laws and everything like that.
Like Porras, Rayon went through the same American educational system. After high school graduation, Rayon had to work to support his family.
I don't want to say that's been hard or easy, but I guess it's somewhat challenging, because there are certain jobs that I can apply for, and then there's certain jobs that I can't. I'm just like, dude, I'm sick of working the way I do, work hard, get paid little, and I guess not that much respect, and just I've heard sayings of coworkers that they say in Spanish, it's just like, ni modo, hay que darle duro. Pretty much means it's just oh, kind of whatever, just keep on working. And to me, I'm just hell no, I'm not gonna have that.
Zelica Rodriguez, spokesperson for Services Immigration Rights and Education Network, or Siren Bay Area, works with individuals such as Rayon every day. She says she comes away with great respect for their determination.
One of the things that I think has been most beneficial and has impacted the organization is the resilience, is the fact that you're working with a population that has faced a lot of anti-immigrant sentiments. And so I think the resilience, folks, even though they're dealing with a lot of this fear, they're still working, they're still providing for their family, they're still wanting to make sure that their kids have all the opportunities that's available for them.
Immigration Customs Enforcement, or ICE, are working with federal, state, and local law enforcement to implement immigration policy throughout the United States. An article in the LA Times published last week says that 19% of Californians are against assisting undocumented immigrants. The Golden Gate Minutemen is a group of citizens that want to raise awareness on their views against unlawful immigration. Communications Associate Steve Kemp says what they consider educational resources should not be spent on undocumented students.
If they're paying for it themselves, that's one thing, and if they're not displacing any students, I just believe that as far as this whole thing goes with the DREAM Act, with the DREAM students, undocumented students going to colleges and whatnot, is that first of all, we must think about American students, and we must make sure that American students can go to college if they are qualified and if they, so desire.
We contacted Chris Kobach, the lawyer who sued the state of California and just last week the state of Kansas for acts similar to AB 540. His offices did not follow up contact with us, but he said in court that students who lawfully obtain student visas have to pay out-of-state tuition fees. He said, quote, "I think that is an absurd reverse incentive. If you follow the law, we're charging you 3 times more." Miguel Vasquez graduated last year from San Jose State as a double major. Since deferred action was not implemented until August 2012, Vasquez paid out of pocket for tuition.
Now that I graduated and my situation is fixed, it's been hard trying to get that chance, just given an opportunity to prove what I can do. It's a big struggle.
Because Vasquez says he lacks a social security number, he says finding a job has been difficult, even though he feels he is more than qualified. SJSU Communications Director of Student Affairs, Fernanda Perdomo Carp, works to provide support to AB 540 students every year.
I think that if we have a society that is educated, everybody wins. In my role, I work with the university community as well as with the outside community. And what I try to do is basically bring information to the families about college.
Similar to the success story of Vasquez, Luis Martinez is pushing his way towards a better future.
Now I'm in college, working, trying to, get more ideas in order to push myself in the terms of me wanting to be more than just a AB 540 student or an immigrant.
Each individual offered the same words of advice for others in their situation. Never give up on your dreams. In the State of the Union address last month, President Obama said his aim in the near future is to increase border security and establish a responsible pathway to earn citizenship.
But he did not mention the DREAM Act, the Federal DREAM Act, immigration policy reform, only this time. Only time will tell what will happen.